Welcome back to FM Story. We're into the second half of Season 16, the Glory Hunt to Save. We've got one task left to win, which is the Europa League. Things are going pretty well this season with Valencia. We're in the last 16 of the Europa League. We've ended up finishing third in the league phase. So without further ado, let's see if we can make it to the quarterfinals. We're now into the beginning of March. We've got the last 16 of the Europa League coming up with a trip away to Besiktas. And we go into the game in pretty decent form. We ended the last episode with a 5-2 victory in the last league game of the Europa League. We had a 2-1 defeat away at Betis in the league. But then, since then, we've played pretty well. We won 3-0 at home against Mallorca, 2-1 away at Getafe, 4-1 at home against Real Sociedad, 3-1 away at Girona, and in the most recent league game, 1-0 at home against Osasuna. So that run of league games has got us up into 5th place, although we have played 2 games more than Betis. But we're in a pretty decent position in terms of looking to qualify for the Europa League next season from the league. And obviously, as we said, we've got this game against Besiktas. Obviously, Man United, Ajax, Benfica, the teams we sort of identified as being in the knockout playoff round all came through. But given how we've played in the Europa League this season, apart from the league phase game against Tottenham, we've played pretty well. So hopefully we can go a long way in the competition. And this trip away to Besiktas is the first step in that journey. And so this is the team we've picked for the trip to Besiktas. We are very light in terms of options in the centre midfield because after the end of the last episode where we played Antwerp in the last league phase game, which was on transfer deadline day, Barcelona recalled Sierra Alta. So we are short on numbers now in the squad, but particularly in that central midfield area. But hopefully, away from home, we can put in a decent performance here to make the home leg a bit easier. Right, they've got to throw deep in their own half. Oh, and they've tried to get in behind. Cantamessa, though, with the ball. Eduardo Rodriguez into Mastantuono. Lepe to Rodriguez, now going down the outside. They've gone back to the keeper. And then they've cleared it just as far as Benic on this right-hand side. He crosses towards the back post. Lepe gets his head on it. Looping header back across the goal. Looked like it went in off the post. And that's the perfect start to the game. 1-0 up after 4 minutes. So it came out to Benic on the right. He just bombs forward and just sends a high cross into the back post. Lepe just loops it over the keeper. And a great finish in the end. They've gone along with the throw down the right and they're in behind. It's pulled back to the edge of the area. The shot's blocked. And thankfully, the rebound goes flying wide. Mastantuono to Benic. Shabani Mikengo down the right-hand side. Goes past his man. Swings the ball out to the left-hand side to Cantamessa, who nods it down to Javi Guerra, who shoots from distance, and it clips the bar on its way over. Right, a throw for us, Cantamessa into Eduardo Rodriguez. Low cross into the box. They cleared it off their own man. It falls for Lepe, and it's as simple as to finishes from close range. So Cantamessa to Eduardo Rodriguez. It's a low cross. It's not the best one, but the clearance hits his own man and falls right in front of goal to Lepe to turn home. Right, they've gone long. Cantamessa wins a header. Rodriguez. We've lost out in the centre of midfield here. In behind. Pulled back. Good block. And again, luckily, the rebound's fired wide. Right, a corner for them. to the far post. We've got a head on it. And Shabani Makengo's the one that's going to pick up that ball. And he's driving forward down the left-hand side. Can he get a cross into the box here? A low cross. It eventually comes all the way through to Lepe. Again, they should have done much better defending that. But that's his hat-trick in 32 minutes. And this is precisely the performance we were hoping for to make the second leg easier. Shabani Makengo breaking free from that corner. Just fires a low cross in. It hits a defender in front of Mastantuono. And Lepe just a simple tap in yet again. And there we are. Half-time, 3-0 up. And a pretty decent performance so far. Right, we sent the same team out to start the second half, and we might make some changes after 15 minutes or so just to rest some players given the lack of options we have in certain areas of the pitch. Cantamesa with a throw to Mastantuono, back to Cantamesa. Javi Guerra into Shabani Makengo, potentially offside there. I don't think he was in the end, but we'll see when VAR has a check of this. It's been given. So it comes out to Javi Guerra with time on the ball. He just picks a ball into the middle of the box, and Shabani Makengo from 12 yards out fires past the keeper. A very, very tight offside decision there. Right, so we made some changes, get some fresh legs on. Miyosh with a free kick, a goal kick out to Ona on the left-hand side. He gives the ball away. Fernandez Alvarez wins a tackle in the midfield. Lepe now bringing the ball forward. Down the right-hand side, gets the ball and cross to the back post. It's headed away. Luis picks it up. Into Fernandez Alvarez. Takes a lovely touch with a turn and fires home. And that's 5-0. And we are in a dominant position here as far as this tie is concerned after just an hour of the first leg. So Luis does well. Into Fernandez Alvarez. Takes a touch. Turns and just fires it into the back of the net. Right, a late corner for them into the near post. We've got a head on it. It's going to come back in. And again, that's the third chance that they've wasted it. If they've got it on target, they could have had goals. But full time, 5-0. Really strong performance and a really strong position going into the home leg. And so it's time for the second leg against Besiktas, and thankfully we got that big advantage from the first leg because we've played one game in the league since then against Sporting Gijon, and we were absolutely abysmal. Our stocks in the centre midfield are even more depleted than they were for the first leg because Oravec picked up an injury against Sporting Gijon, so Ramos has come in alongside Javi Guerra. It's in the only change from the team that played the first leg. Looking at the other ties in the round of 16, the teams that you would expect, so the teams that finish in the top 8 of the league phase have gone through. So Tottenham, Albacete, Wolfsburg and RB Leipzig have all gone through. And of the other teams that finished in the top 8, we were the only one that won the first leg in the ties that are still to be finished. So interesting to see who else makes it through. Very little happening early on in this second leg, except we've managed to pick up an injury to Mastantuono, and it's another one that we could have done without. Fernandez Alvarez has come on to play in that number 10 role. And now another injury. Cantamesa injured, so Onat's going to have to come on. Hopefully these injuries are not too severe, because otherwise we are seriously struggling for players for the rest of the season. Onat with the throw. Fernandez Alvarez into Ramos, over the top looking for Lepe, takes it down, beats the keeper. We're going to get a VAR check because it's been given as offside. and it has been disallowed. So Fernandez Alvarez into Ramos, who takes a touch and then just lifts it over the top, and fractions offside there for Lepe. And there we are, half-time 0-0, one highlight, 2 injuries, and the sooner this ties over, the better. We can't really afford to lose too many more bodies at this stage. Right, Mosquera with a free kick into Shabani Makengo. Benic back to Mosquera. Benic again, gives it away. And now they're in behind where Benic would have been. Mosquera comes over, almost gets himself sent off. They've hit the post. And Rodriguez scrambles it clear. Right, a corner for them. To the near post. We've got a head on it. Cross is going to come in from them. Oh, they've gone back. Space on the right-hand side here. Luis Carlos wins it back and then hammers it upfield. And it's just going to keep coming back at us here. They've opened us up there. And the only thing we can say is thank God we had that 5-goal advantage from the first leg. Because I know we've made changes in the defence to rest players, and especially with players that have been booked and the injury. Well, that was far too easy. Far too easy. Right. Krell with a long free kick down the line. Shabani Makengo crosses. Lepe heads home. We've got a VAR check here for something. I suppose it was probably for whether Shabani Makengo was onside, because Lepe had to be behind the ball. Simple finish. Right, they've got the ball into the box. Javi Guerra out to Eduardo Rodriguez. Shabani Makengo now driving forward into Eduardo Rodriguez, into Lepe. He scores, but that one was definitely offside, I'm sure. And yeah, there it is. It's been disallowed. Shabani Makengo into Eduardo Rodriguez, took a touch and played it through, but Lepe's a good yard offside. And there we are, full time, 1-1 draw on the night, 6-1 in aggregate. We were always pretty safely through to the quarter-final after that first leg, but that's a couple of poor performances in a row. And now the issue is, how serious are the injuries to Cantamesa and Mastantuono? They don't look particularly good, just looking at the description. I mean, if we're missing those two for most of the rest of the season, we're in serious trouble in the league and in the Europa League. We've made it to the end of March, and we're still in a reasonably strong position to try and qualify for the Europa League for next season if we don't go on and win it this season. Since the second leg against Besiktas, we've played 2 games. We hammered Zaragoza 5-1 and then drew 1-1 with Albacete. We are down to the absolute bare bones now, though, as far as the squad's concerned. I think we only had 4 substitutes for the Albacete game. Cantamasa he tore his knee ligaments in the game against Besiktas, so he's out for the rest of the season. Raul Jimenez, who's the backup goalkeeper, is out for up to another 5 weeks. Oravec is just coming back. Mastantuono's just coming back. Shabani Makengo is struggling and needs a rest. And we are rapidly running out of players. Added to that Ona is suspended for the next game. We don't have a left back, really. So that'll be interesting. But league-wise, we're currently sat in 7th. We're a point behind Betis, 3 points behind Girona. We've had our draw for the quarterfinal of the Europa League. We've been drawn against Benfica. If we get past Benfica, we've either got Napoli or Man United in the semi-final. So hopefully we can make it past Benfica. We've got the first leg away from home. So hopefully we can get a result in that, like we did a similar sort of performance to what we did again in the first leg against Besiktas, to ease the pressure of the second leg. And there we are, the end of another episode. And as we said, we're into the quarterfinals of the Europa League against Benfica. Join us in the next time. And join us in the next episode to see if we can make it past Benfica and see how far we can go in the competition. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.